What's up, guys? Today we're gonna give you 5 reasons why
we think
used car prices are going up.
Particular used cars.
Whether or not you like it, it's happening.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the forums and Facebook groups have a big problem with things like 350Zs going up in value,
yeah.
But the reality is they are. S14s and S13s, this was the same thing that happened in 08, 07.
Yeah.
Everyone had a problem with them going up in value.
But they did.
But they did, and they still are.
And here's why.
And here's why. So, first reason.
The first reason I think is because a lot of these cars that are going up in value are becoming modern classics.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of stuff that's not necessarily gaining the same sort of traction or value that things like the 350Z are getting. You know, if you look at a Prius, the unfortunate side of it is, for the most part, a Prius is never going to regain any of its value, just because it wasn't a car that was an enthusiast car. It's not something people want to modify.
Right.
It wasn't popular in that sense.
Yep.
So a lot of these cars are definitely becoming what will be, you know, a 69 Camaro,
yep.
A Firebird, you know, stuff like that.
Mustang GT350.
Exactly. That's what these cars are going to become.
Yep.
I've actually heard a lot of argument about that, but at the same time, it is what it is.
It's a fact of life.
Yeah.
You know, these things age. They were good cars.
They still are.
They still are good cars. Yeah. And this kind of leads us into the second point.
Yeah.
So as we kind of go through this video, we'll kind of just point you at like some of the cars that we have. So that's the 350Z. We've also have the Miata here. So these two are actually perfect examples of cars that have gone up in price pretty dramatically in the last...
In a very short period of time.
Yeah. So the second reason is going to be supply and demand. And it's a very straightforward equation. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people do. But let's say you have a million 350Zs or Miatas on the road.
Yeah.
Or even 100,000 or whatever the number is, and it's, you know, they're getting there's just so many of them on the market that you think to yourself, well, I can get one at any time.
Yeah.
You know, $2,000. People are desperate. They need the money. Blah blah blah. But as time goes on, they get crashed. They get drifted. Yeah. There's damage happening to them in one way, shape, or form. The motor blows and it gets totaled by the insurance company by some grandma who was driving and wasn't even messing with it.
Yeah.
One goes off the road, one goes off the road, one goes off the road.
But this happens exponentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until over time, you find yourself having a hard time finding a 350Z in good condition.
Or a Miata.
Let alone one that's like for a good price. And the reason is because the ones that are in good condition are getting hard to find, and people are willing to pay more, and that a rising tide raises all ships, right? So your other poorer quality 350Zs start to go up as a result, and then once everyone starts holding out for a higher price, it creates a price floor. Yep. And then that's what raises the price for everybody.
And equally, I think one of the problems people end up having is you know, because of things like barn finds, everyone, like at the end of the day, I think everybody will eventually feel lucky that like, I'm gonna find a barn find. But yeah, I think the reality.
No, there was a guy in a 350Z group yesterday who said he talked to an old guy who got an 07 HR at auction for $3,000, and he's like, they're still out there. That's a steal.
That is.
You're not gonna find that.
That's not the norm.
That's not the norm.
Yeah.
You could find it, but are you gonna find it?
Maybe.
Not unless you spend a lot of time and possibly have to fly somewhere to go pick up that car.
Which I did.
You know? So as we get into reason number 3, we're just gonna point down the driveway here real quick.
Look at some stuff.
So we've got another car that's gone up in value pretty dramatically.
I think the G37 is really retaining.
It's retaining its value very well.
I don't think it's really going down.
Yeah. So this FCRX7 is definitely worth a lot more than Indy paid for it.
$2,900.
Yeah, he paid $29,000. We've had the G for a long time, so the reality is it's worth less than, you know, that we paid for it. But also, the good thing is it also kind of hit a price floor, and you know, it's worth more now than it was a couple years ago. Yeah, which is great.
Which is nice.
You know, a couple years ago, this G37, I could find a similar one for $7,500.
Yeah, I believe it.
Now I have more miles on it, and I I think that the way that this car sits, it's worth at least 10 or 11,000 right now.
I agree with you.
So these are obviously subjective. You know, a car is worth what people are willing to pay for it, but that's the reality of why we're making this video, is because people are willing to pay these prices. Okay, so reason number 3, we've got the E36 here. We showed you the FCRX7
My $500
350Z.
purchase.
This was a $500 purchase.
Yeah, original manual coupe.
Yeah.
That's how you get stuff.
Yep.
But reason number 3 here is the age of people buying cars.
Yep.
You know, I was born in '86. He was born in '86. And as we grew up, the cars we saw new in dealerships were that Miata, it was the C36,
Yep.
you know, that we saw growing up. And there were things that as, you know, we grew into liking cars, we remembered from being new and being what we thought were cool.
Yeah.
And as we get a little older, we start to walk into a little more money.
Yep.
Usually, depending on your life situation. And that being the case, you can start to buy these things that you had this affinity for when you were younger.
Yeah. And nothing really speaks to you the way a car does when you pine over it in high school.
I agree with that.
You know,
Yeah.
when I was 15, I was about to get my first car, 16, right?
Yeah.
And I started looking around, and that's when I would see Supras and RX-7s
Yeah.
on Craigslist. And I was like, oh my
Those are the
gosh,
things you
I
want.
want an RX-7 so bad.
So bad.
And so, you know, the FDRX7 is something that's on our list.
Yeah.
You know, but
both of our lists.
yeah.
That'll be
So, you know, that's a big one. So reason number 4, which is something that I don't think a lot of people think about, but more people are becoming aware of, is inflation.
Yeah.
Prime example, the 280 right here.
Back when that was new, that was a $7,500 car, and that was 50 years, effectively. Nears makes no difference.
Yeah.
About 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And in that time frame, the value of the dollar has, let's just say, changed.
Well, let's
drastically.
call a realistic comparison the 400Z or the Z400,
Well,
whatever. It's the
supposed
new
to be-
Nissan.
The new Z.
The new Nissan Z is
Yeah.
40K.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what, eight times the value, basically, ish.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And that's just
8.5.
because of the dollar changing.
Yeah, yeah. So just in the last 2 years alone, with everything that's been going on, we can get into specifics, but we really don't need to. A lot of money has been pumped into the economy. A lot of money has been printed. Money is always going to get printed. The value of the dollar has never gone up. It's only gone down.
Yeah.
So here's a perfect example. In the month of June 2021 alone, the inflation rate was 5% alone.
Which is huge.
That means if you had $100,000 in June of 2021, it's now worth 95K. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep going up.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
That's a lot of money in a very short period of time.
Yeah, so that's something that, you know, you guys should keep in mind when you're looking for cars. It's like, my money isn't worth as much anymore, you know?
Yeah, that's very true.
Reason number 5, let's
As
walk
we look
into
at the entire driveway.
Yeah.
We
We'll
look
look-
at the entire driveway.
We've got the E30 over here, but reason number 5, we've kind of got like the holy grail right here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Reason number 5.
The longest
is
term project.
realistic goals.
Yeah.
You find stuff.
We talk about realistic goals as this thing is like a 20-year project.
It's not a 20-year project. If more people watch our stuff, I'll make more money, and then I can put it back into this quicker.
That's realistic
That's
goals.
realistic goals, see?
Like and subscribe, y'all.
So, you know, realistic goals are a situation where, again, when you're a kid, I mean, I had a poster of a Lamborghini Countach.
Right.
Love that poster, super sick. It was flying through space. I remember it very well. I don't have the poster anymore. But as I got older, I realized I'd like a Lamborghini Countach. I don't have Lamborghini Countach money.
Yeah.
So, as realistic goals become realized, as you know,
And this
get a
is
little-
most people. Obviously, some people are still going to be able to afford their dream car,
Yeah, of course.
hypercar, whatever it is.
But to be honest, with you,
but-
I don't think those people necessarily care that prices are going up.
But you know, I'll tell you what, there are also people out there who can afford the Lambo.
Yeah.
I knew a guy in the S2000 community who had Ferrari money,
Why not?
and
Yeah.
he went all out on his S2000.
Yeah.
That was his move. That's what he
That's what he
enjoyed.
wanted.
You
Yeah.
know? So, you know, you keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Most people are only going to be able to afford the car that you're looking for, but also
Yeah.
the really rich people may not necessarily even care about the Lambo.
Yeah, that's very true. They
You
might
know?
just care about this.
Yeah.
Or I don't think they'll care about this, but
Yeah.
Maybe someone does.
Yeah.
Who has lots of money, wants to buy 60 of them and ruin the market. I don't know.
Right.
But it's just realistic goals that you need to set for yourself. And, you know, when you look at them, you have to be realistic.
Yeah.
You got to look at these and be like, what can I afford? And kind of go for it.
Yeah.
And don't hold on to this necessary, I'm going to buy the Lambo, if in reality you're not going to be able to afford the Lambo.
Yeah. Make responsible financial decisions.
Don't look at my stuff.
Hmm?
You said responsible financial decisions. And then I looked
yeah.
at
Well,
all my stuff's accruing value now. So at this point, before it was not a responsible.
It's tricky. I would say 5 years ago, this would not have been a responsible financial decision.
No, but now.
But the funny thing is, his driveway's probably tripled in value.
In like 2 years.
Yeah. So,
So,
who's laughing now?
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, let us know what you guys thought. If you think that these reasons are BS, let us know. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
by all means.
these are our opinions.
Yeah.
This is what I've noticed. I see a lot of people who complain about the prices of things going up, but like,
They don't look at the obvious answers.
but you look at history repeats itself.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go out there and buy a 67 Camaro for less than 30 grand right now.
Yeah. Well, you know,
And-
I remember.
and even 30 grand is like, you're going to get
Well,
really
you know,
lucky.
a good example is David Freiberger from Motor Trend.
Mhm.
He, when he was in high school, I think it was, he had a Barracuda in high school.
Mhm.
A Barracuda. Just process that for a second and think about a high school kid now owning a Barracuda.
Yeah.
Wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's so much money.
Yeah. Totally.
So
let us know what you guys thought of the video. If this was informative for you guys or anything like that, you know,
Yeah.
let us know. We just wanted to throw it together because we felt like it needed to be talked about.
addressed.
Prices have definitely skyrocketed recently,
lot.
so
Yeah.
let us know what you guys thought of the video in the comments down below. And if you liked the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, ring notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.
And we appreciate you guys.